Today we will be, I will be doing a quick voiceover of a Minecraft statue house build that I did quite not long ago. It was a while ago, just before the newest update. But as you just saw in the background, that's my Steve house that I did not. That was a long time ago, about a year ago. But here, what I'm doing is I'm making a house out of a statue that's based off a skin that I used to have way back in the day, called the Anarchist Rioter. Picture on screen, please. Editing. I just said my real name like an idiot. But no, what this house will entail is basically a hollowed out version of the skin, made with the best detail that I can. Here I am starting up the feet. Obviously, this is the type of detail that I'm going into here. It's kind of tricky to decide what kind of colour you want to use, because each block has its own sort of, how would you say, texture to it. Whilst the colours may be the same, as you can see the black and the coal, you can definitely tell that they're two different blocks and they have different textures to them. For the boots, I did want to have like a leathery sort of feel, like a black leather. And you know, leather can either be smooth or it can be a bit rough. I went for a bit mix of the two, having the bottom part of the shoe, the boot, be the coal, because it's a bit of a rougher material, and having the top part be a smoother material, such as the black concrete. Concrete, honestly, back in the day we used to do this with the wool. But here we are, I'm using the silver grey there. I think that's for the shoe buckle. If I just pull up a picture, I'm not even looking at a picture of the skin myself, but yeah, as you can see, there are the doors that I'm putting in there. I put the cracked nether brick because I really wanted to give it a bit of an edgy sort of emo vibe to it. And if you look at the skin, they're all kind of like, he's wearing sweatpants almost. So I decided to use like a, oh sorry, background noise. I decided to make something that looked a bit baggy, it wasn't loose fitting, had a bit of a roughness to it. As you can see, I'm experimenting here with, what's the block called? Andesite, I think it is, andesite. The trousers, they are, I couldn't tell you how tall in blocks this is. I never wrote anything down. I was literally just looking at the picture that I had on screen. Here I am changing the material once again. Yeah, oftentimes I do find myself just going back. Oops, sorry. Going back and editing. I do it a lot at the end, especially with the top, the head rather. Here I am doing the little string that you get on your strap pants. I imagine as string, they're probably just pockets, but there are also lots of little details in the skin as well. Are very, very, very hard to replicate, because it's all about just finding the right block to do it with. Here I am pulling up the skin right now. I think I found this particular design on minecraftskins.com. I will have to see. I think I've got the skin saved somewhere. Either way, that's a hentai advert. Here I am. There we go. So yeah, the torso, if I count really quickly, it is, including the shoes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks tall. On the actual skin though, there's an extra 2 blocks on top of that. So here we are starting the hoodie. I take lots of long breaks during this recording. It was a 2-hour long recording. So yeah, long breaks will be sure to happen. Oops, I just knocked over my microphone. Here we are, carrying on. Probably want to go get some water or something. Or I just have ADHD and I can't sit still for more than 10 minutes and focus on one thing, but hey ho, it's life. Oh, there we are, we're back at it again. Okay, the torso, excluding those extra 2 blocks at the bottom of the trousers, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that's also 12 blocks. I'm not entirely sure, unfortunately. I'll definitely leave a link to the skin that I used in the description below. You can count for yourself. It's very easy to do. This isn't much of a tutorial. I'm because of the amount of times I am going back and figuring it out for myself. What I've decided to do here is build the base layer of this skin and then add the texture on as I go along. As you can see here, I'm adding the texture. I couldn't tell. I think the texture is just like folds in the hoodie or just dark patches. I'm not entirely sure. And also there's an A. There's like an A for anarchy in the middle of the hoodie. That took a while to get the right red for. There's a lot of noise going downstairs. Oh, okay. Squeaky chair. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. I might have to just wait and see myself. This was so long ago, I can't really remember much of what I'm doing. And here I am adding the straps for the backpack because the skin has a pretty basic little backpack that he's probably got something in. He's an anarchist rioter. On the back of his skin, he's also got a little spray can or Molotov cocktail. I add that much later on too. There's the little strings that you find at the end of a hoodie. I was also debating whether or not I wanted it to be my actual skin color or the skin color found in the Minecraft skin. I did go on to just decide to keep it as the actual skin color. But the bandana is an interesting story. I was contemplating changing that, and you'll see that once we get onto the head, you will see me just trying out a bunch of different colors for the bandana. Now, the reason why the A on the Anarchist logo took me so long is because it's two different shades of dark red, and dark red there's only red in terms of like red concrete and red wool. There's no dark red. The only dark red is, I guess, nether wart or other sorts of like netherish blocks, maybe the redstone, but even then it's dark-ish. But yeah, here we are. I think I stuck with this for now because it looked more rough. I think I do stick with this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what I stick with. Now that you mention it, I don't think that is supposed to be an anarchist like A, because an A should only have one line in the middle of it. That has two. It still looks like an A in my head though. Here we are. It looks like something, and yeah, now that I'm looking back, that doesn't look the best. I should have stuck with maybe the wool. But it looks gory, really. Yeah, as you can see, the red wool and red concrete are just too bright. And these nether blocks, they're more purplish, like very dark purple than they are red. It was so frustrating. I did build this on Xbox on the Xbox One version of Minecraft. Well, the Xbox One S, like the new version, not the old Xbox One version. I actually used to build these on the old version of Minecraft back when I was a kid. Yeah, it looks like I stuck with this block for now. Here I am starting the arms. Excuse me. Also, something to note is on Minecraft skins, if you look at here, obviously in Minecraft, when you're building corners, the colour is like the same on each corner, but on Minecraft skins, that's not the case. Hopefully I can show a picture to demonstrate, but it's very hard if, say, on the front of a corner it's one colour, and then on the other side of that corner it's another colour. This was a problem that I had doing the, here I am counting and comparing with my other build. This was a problem that I had with the hair on my Steve build, as well as some parts of this build. I couldn't give specific examples of where until they maybe come up. But here we are, I'm doing these leather-ish gloves if I just pull up the skin on my phone here. This is a very impromptu video. Yeah, they're like motorbike gloves, or I couldn't really, I don't know how you would describe them. But they're like, they got like spaces open for the knuckles. They're not full gloves. This is, once you do get the torso going and you start moving on to the arms, is when you'll really start to see your build taking shape. Here I am replacing it with the more leathery kind of texture that the coal has. It also helps to separate it from the shadows that the hoodie is making. Because, well, if you make a hoodie out of leather, you can't really have them be the same material because the blocks that you use correspond to a certain real life texture. So for the most part, as you can see, I've used black concrete on the shoes, but because of how they are separated, you don't really see them as like, oh, the black concrete on the shoes and the black concrete on the torso are representing the same materials. That's not how it, hopefully that's not how it comes across. Here I am just starting, just whenever I notice that there's a bit of texture, I start doing them. I think this part I mess up quite early on. Yeah, there are some parts where the textures I do mess up quite a bit. Here I am doing the Molotov cocktail. Or spray can. I see it as a Molotov cocktail. It doesn't really look too much like a spray can now that I do think about it. It's just, you know, this was an official Minecraft skin at one point. Why would they have a Molotov cocktail? Is a bit weird. Now, on the original skin, this did actually stick out quite a bit. I'm not sure if it sticks out the same here. But I think at 2 blocks, yeah, I think I do consider having it stick out a little bit more, but it just looks a bit goofy having it be that separated. And here I am trying to think, would it look best if I strapped it on? No, it won't. Did I actually stick to having it like that? Surely not. Oh, okay. Well, to be honest, it doesn't really matter how you want to do it. I guess I just did it that way. It gives me more room when I do the interior, because I do the interiors on these. Do-do. 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 Here I am moving on to the backpack. The backpack on the what do you call it? The reference I used looked a bit off. I did try to replicate it as best as I could here. It's a very small backpack, and as you can see, I get distracted and start finishing off the arms. Oh, another thing that I added there was the bit of cloth running down the side. I guess I decided that it was a Molotov after all. Now, I wanted to make the backpack a little bit 3D, obviously so I can have more room when doing the interiors. But it was really hard building that kind of 3D plane and having it look like a backpack, especially with the limited space I was given. I think here I start getting well confused. The backpack was very confusing to do. Mostly because I kept counting blocks wrong, but it is what it is. If you're stupid, you're stupid. That's just going to affect you sometimes. Water break. Very nice. I don't know what I was doing there. I think I was making the straps that go around the shoulders. But I definitely miscounted, as you can see. Nope, that's still not right. Hopefully I remember that. Yeah, I definitely got it wrong. Here I am spending so long trying to fix my mistake. Looking back, it looks so obvious what the mistake was. I did fix it, did I not? No, it looks like I fixed it now. There we go, it should be all good. As it should go without saying, if you ever get stuck doing one of these things, like, you can always just move on to doing something else in the build. Like, it's always best if you ever get stuck, just go and build the things around it that are a bit easier and use them as a guide. Here I also get a bit stuck because the same thing happens where the texture doesn't wrap the colour. This isn't the same on two sides of a corner. It is really awkward when I take these long pauses. I don't know how long they last for. I recorded this at a date on top of the screen. I'm gonna put that at the top of the screen when I first mentioned the date that I recorded this at. Here I am going back to my Steve house, comparing the dimensions, making sure that I've got everything right. It would be very awkward if I did it wrong this whole time or had them be different sizes. I guess what you could do as well, it doesn't have to be a one-to-one replica. You can, I guess, double the size of everything. It's just, you know, I think the bigger you go with this, the longer it will take and the more problems that you might have with, you know, being asked to do it. That's see, like the backpack, it's very small. It looks a bit goofy, in my opinion. I guess yeah, it just looks like like a really awkwardly shaped turtle shell. This is where I really go off on my own here, because obviously the actual skin in Minecraft isn't done like that. It's only the actual part of the backpack that sticks out. These bits on the sides do not. But I guess I build a solid cube. I guess this is what I'm guessing. I just recorded so long ago, I can't remember what I did. But I just built a big cube, and then here I am chiseling out the parts that I guess I don't want. Yeah, that's like a much better backpack, that does. Yeah, it does look much better. Here I am hollowing it out now as well, so I can use the room for the interior. I'll do a separate tour of the interior on a different video. Here I am as well, just making sure that I'm maximizing the space. Being sure not to break any of the walls majorly, which I do a lot of accidentally. Here I am as well, hollowing out the Molotov. I guess that's why I chose to have it be so separate from the skin, just to give me more room for the interior. Another part where I deviated was doing that little brown bit around the holder for the Molotov that's not in the original skin. I just wanted it to blend nicely into the little belt that he's got going on down there. Extra bit of chiseling on the backpack. Here's where I start doing the head. The head is actually the most fun to do because you get to really mess about with facial expressions and stuff, especially for the interior. I think if you really are bored of doing the bodies, I guess you can just make really big heads. And not only that as well, I think on a survival world, a head would just be the more feasible option. It's also the most practical option because the bodies, they aren't really that big. You don't really put much in there in terms of furniture or anything. So on a survival world, or even on a creative world where you just can't be bothered to do most of this stuff, doing the heads is also just as fine. I need to finish off the tops of these shoulders as well. No, done that. Now, the head on the Anarchist Rioter, obviously he's wearing a hoodie, so he has a hood. So it is a bit of a decision trying to make it look like that hood is wrapped around his head and actually going over his head. I don't start doing the bandana until much later, I think. think a lot of the pauses that I'm taking are just me going back and looking at different references. I didn't use any outside tutorials for this, I just looked at the skin and kind of went off on my own. I'm not going to say whether or not that was the best, this is the way to do it. You can do it easily following a tutorial. It's just that I knew that eventually I was going to break away from the tutorial and most of it would be obvious to me. I've done these before anyways. And just by looking at a reference, that kind of is your tutorial. The only thing that you have to do by yourself is compare which block corresponds to which colour and texture. And because this is obviously Minecraft block, the pixels on skins, they're very swan, like they only really have one solid colour to them. On Minecraft blocks there are multiple colours within a block, so you can really take advantage of that. Here I am deciding on how to do the balaclava. The reason why I went with blue is to give it more of, I guess, sort of style to it, because my original bandana was blue. I've lost it. I've replaced the type of bandana, but the original bandana itself is gone. It's lost somewhere out on the streets because I took it out somewhere with me to mess about with my friends with. Don't do that, by the way, you can get yourself arrested. It didn't happen to me, just saying. Here I am actually wrapping the hood around the person's, the statue's head. But yeah, ironically enough, despite the blue bandana being really, red is my favourite colour, and red is what I decided to stick with in the end. I didn't want the hood to look too goofy on the statue. Here we are, just showing, yeah. On the actual skin that I used for reference, underneath the bandana, his chin and neck do show. It's just that I thought it would be a bit goofier looking on a 3D replica of that. Here I am using stained glass because obviously I'm turning this into a house, so I want the eyes to be more like windows. I did that in my Steve house as well. And here I am. Oh, wasn't the smartest idea that one. Oh, there we go, just there. I did like the blue colour that I was using. It's just that it was a bit too much of an awkward contrast with the red. Obviously, red and blue are very good colours to have together. It's just that I didn't want the entire accent of the clothing to be red and then just a blue mask. And, you know, red is more authentic to the original skin and is, of course, my favourite colour. Here I am adding some of the path just to get to the door because you have to make the outside look nice. I didn't really do that much with the Steve skin. Although the Steve skin, I did put a sign saying that it's best viewed in the plastic texture pack. Here we are, just cleaning up the inside of the head here. Obviously you want to really maximize your space because in these statue builds there's so little space available to you. And obviously with the black, how do you call it? The black concrete, it can make it really hard to get your, how do I say this? It's really hard to tell where corners are and to tell if the depth of it is correct, especially at certain angles and certain brightnesses. Here I am adding some more detail that I might want to add to the hood. Decided not to do it, as I can see. Yeah, I think we should be nearly done soon. I'm just going to be lighting up the inside maybe, or did I do that on the later? Oh, I forgot to mention, I did break the walls between the torso and the arms too. And yeah, that was where the time lapse ends. And here I am. Oh no, that's not where the time lapse ends. Here we are. quick 3D view around. I think it looks pretty good. It's way more interesting than my Steve build for sure, and I wish Mojang would add back this skin because it definitely is one of my favourite skins to use. I like it more than the Master Chief. Recent years the Master Chief has been my favourite, but I still have a soft spot for this, and I would go back to it if I could. Yeah. I hope you do enjoy this style of content. It's more laid back. It's not really what I want to be making. I wish I could make more bombastic videos in my style, but this is easy to make. It still covers what I want it to cover, and it's also just fun to be able to share around some of the builds that I've done. Sorry there haven't been much uploads during the holidays. There's no real excuse for it other than it's just very hard to make any sort of intense video, especially when you've just got so much going on really. Even though during the holidays not much goes on. In your head stuff goes on, but in practicality nothing much. I'm pretty lazy, I have to admit. There are software limitations with making these videos as well, since I have only like a weak laptop. DaVinci Resolve doesn't like it all that much, but yeah, here we are, staring right into his face.